He survived ambushes, outsmarted hitmen, and walked away from bullets that should have ended him. But on January 28, 2025, Melbourne's most hunted man finally ran out of luck. Sam Abdurrahim, known on the streets as the Punisher, was gunned down in cold blood in broad daylight, just meters from his girlfriend. It was the final chapter in a life fueled by violence, vendettas, and survival against impossible odds. Sam had spent over a decade defying death. Ambushed in the streets, shot at funerals, hunted across cities, he always found a way to walk away. A $1 million bounty hung over his head. Enemies from Australia to the Middle East had tried and failed to take him out. He had been stabbed, shot, and betrayed. Yet somehow, Sam always came back. Sometimes limping, sometimes smiling, always defiant. But that morning in Melbourne's north, everything changed. At exactly 10 a.m., Sam stepped out of the Quest Hotel in Preston. He had checked in the night before, choosing the location for its low profile. It was meant to be temporary, just a stopover before disappearing again. He had a plane ticket booked for January 30th. Another vanishing act. But the streets never forget. And someone had been watching. His girlfriend was at his side, unaware that in moments, her life would fracture forever. Then, they struck. Multiple gunmen. No warning, no hesitation. A hail of bullets ripped through the hotel parking lot. Security footage would later show the attackers moving with precision, quick, ruthless, clinical. Sam collapsed instantly. Witnesses say his girlfriend screamed, trying to cradle him, trying to stop the bleeding. She performed CPR as neighbors poured out from nearby apartments. But it was too late. The Punisher was dead before the ambulance arrived. For a man who had stared death in the face so many times before, there were no second chances left. Sam Abdurrahim had been a marked man from the beginning. Raised in the crucible of Melbourne's criminal underworld, violence wasn't just part of his life, it was his life. His name carried weight. So did his reputation, fearless, volatile, unstoppable. And his enemies never stopped coming. In March 2019, Sam survived a hit in Brunswick. Gunmen opened fire from a moving car. Witnesses described chaos, screaming, shattered windows, rubber burning. Sam walked away with minor injuries. In June 2022, he was ambushed while leading a funeral procession, shot 8 times in a moving vehicle. He not only survived, he drove himself to the Faulkner police station, blood pouring from his wounds. 2 weeks later, he left the hospital with a bullet still lodged in his kidney. From his hospital bed, he mocked his attackers in a now infamous video, laughing as he flexed his middle finger at the camera. By 2024, his house in Thomastown was being shot at monthly. In May, 17 rounds were fired at his property. In June, another drive-by lit up the street. He emerged untouched, but as bulletproof as he seemed, Sam wasn't invincible. He could outrun a gunman, but not betrayal. Once a respected enforcer for Melbourne's outlaw Bikie gangs, Sam had worn colors for both the Bandidos and the Mongols. He was a trusted soldier, a feared enforcer, and later, a liability. In 2021, after years of internal friction and escalating disputes, Sam was expelled from the Mongols. That changed everything. Without the club's protection, Sam became a walking target. Former allies turned on him. Rivals closed in. The code of silence was shattered, and the contracts on his head started stacking up. Among those with the most bloodlust, Kazem Kaz Hamad, a shadowy figure in Australia's illegal tobacco and methamphetamine scene. Hamad had built an empire out of smuggling, fear, and brutality. His network spanned across borders, from suburban Melbourne to the war-torn streets of Iraq. And his feud with Sam was personal. Back in 2016, Kaz's top lieutenant, Kadir KD Oz, was gunned down in a brutal drive-by shooting in Broadmeadows. Rumors quickly spread that Sam had orchestrated the hit, though he denied any involvement. The Victorian Court of Appeal would later suggest Sam's fingerprints were all over it. That was all Kaz needed. From that moment, vengeance became a mission. Even after Kaz was deported to Iraq in 2023, his empire still pulsed from afar. Surveillance sources later revealed he was orchestrating orders via encrypted messaging apps, using burner phones and offshore accounts. And then came the price tag. A $1 million bounty for anyone who could kill Sam Abdurrahim. What followed was a campaign of relentless violence. Arson attacks, car chases, late-night shootings. Yet Sam endured. In fact, an old video surfaced just days after his death, one last reminder of his audacity. In the clip, Sam is seen FaceTiming Kaz from his hospital bed after surviving the 2022 shooting. 8 shots and I'm still here, Sam boasts with a twisted grin. Kaz, calm and emotionless, replies, "You're lucky, brother. That luck ran out." What's chilling isn't just that Sam was killed, it's how cleanly it was done. He had just returned to Melbourne after laying low overseas. He'd been changing hotels every few nights. No social media posts, no digital footprints. His circle was small, paranoid even. He told friends he didn't trust anyone. But someone knew. Police now suspect it was an inside job. The timing was too perfect, the kill too smooth. Less than 12 hours after Sam checked into the Quest apartments, he was dead. The shooters fled in a white Porsche SUV. Hours later, it was found torched in Epping. A second vehicle, a gray Ford Ranger, was discovered burned out in West Meadows. All signs point to professional operators. Cleanup crews, no fingerprints, no CCTV footage of faces, just smoke and silence. A statement, a warning, and the streets are listening. Within hours, a massive police response was underway. Homicide detectives and Task Force Lunar locked down the crime scene. Dozens of officers swept the area for shell casings, camera footage, and cell tower pings. Witnesses were taken in for questioning, but nobody was talking, not out of loyalty, out of fear. Melbourne's underworld is now on edge. Retaliation is expected, inevitable. Police fear an escalating tit-for-tat war. Quiet suburbs could become battlegrounds again. Even Sam's ex-girlfriend, reality star Jessica Power, broke her silence after his death. Speaking candidly, she described a man torn between two lives, deeply loving, fiercely loyal, but consumed by darkness. She called him a protector, but admitted their relationship was like living with a ticking time bomb. Now, that bomb has detonated, and the shockwaves are just beginning. Sam Abdurrahim didn't just live a life of crime, he embodied it. Chaos followed him, blood trailed behind him, enemies surrounded him. But what kept him alive wasn't just luck, it was grit, instinct, paranoia, a refusal to be forgotten. He dodged every bullet until he couldn't. Now, the most hunted man in Melbourne is gone, but the war he leaves behind, that's just getting started.